Hey, what's up YouTube again? It's me, Neko2Tuna, and today we're going to be reacting to another Jubilee video. This time around, it's going to be conservative teens versus liberal parents. So let's check out this video, and yeah.
Middle ground is a social experiment that brings humans with opposing beliefs together. These discussions may contain viewpoints that are the result of misinformation.
We'll get through this together, and if you feel the need to inform me about something or tell me your opinion on something that you may believe I'm wrong about, feel free to tell me. I'm for the people, so I love learning new things and adapting to my community and everyone who would be willing to let me learn. Uh, so yeah, don't be afraid to leave some criticism. Don't be afraid to roast me. You know, I could take it. Maybe if it's not too harsh. I swear.
Remember to seek out experts and to be critical of your own biases while forming an opinion. Please see the humanity in each participant, and as always,
It's true.
encourage empathy.
Every participant is a human. Please don't send hate their way if you manage to get a hold of their medias or anything like that. Always spread love. That's my number one phrase. Spread love. Doesn't matter if it's someone you hate. It takes more effort to hate someone than to love them. It takes more effort to hate someone than not to hate someone.
Some minor inconveniences in your privileged life to
why would you assume my life is privileged?
Unsupported,
but why would you assume my life is privileged, though? I mean, I don't say that about you. Why would you assume my life is privileged?
I'm privileged.
Okay, that's fine, but why would you assume my life is privileged?
For one, you're a man.
Step forward if you agree with the prompt.
I would be, obviously I'm not a parent, but I'm not a conservative teen, so I guess my place would be like here. I'd be in the middle.
The government has no right to tell people what to do with their body.
Yeesh.
Vaccines.
I'm in the middle ground. I don't think
Right,
I'd
tell me
move.
what with your-
Sorry.
Okay. I stood here because of vaccines, but I know a lot of you guys probably look at me like, oh, what about abortion? Now, the thing is, when it comes to abortion, two bodies are involved. It's the woman and it's the fetus. The fetus, you know, has a heartbeat, it has DNA. It should have rights.
When?
Life begins at conception.
That's not when the heart's there.
Heartbeat starts at 4 weeks. It's not just a clump of cells, it is life. At 21 weeks, it can live outside of the womb. Abortion ends with murder and death.
Over 90% of abortions happen within the first 10 weeks.
That's still, I think that's not acceptable.
But they still have the potential of having life, though. The mortality rate of a fetus getting aborted is 100%. It's going to die when it's aborted.
And you're very lucky you'll never have to experience what it's like to have to make that choice.
But what if I become a father?
Ooh, she blasted him. Ooh. To be honest, I feel like as a male, as a cis male, I personally do not get a say on what women should do with their body, and I personally would just support the women around me. See both sides. That's what I do.
And
I'm not your parents. I can't tell you what to do.
Want to have an abortion? It's going to affect me.
You would have a discussion with your partner then and decide what you're going to do and be glad that you have a choice to even discuss with that partner.
Unfortunately, human
She's
nature,
speaking
if you
facts.
take away the option or the right to do that, then they'll find it another way.
And it will be unsafe.
That's true. If you were to take away abortions, I feel like people would still find a way to get them, and it would just not be funded by the government, and it wouldn't be done by professionals sometimes. So yeah, it's
And,
true.
Would you support the mom? Would you support the mom in that scenario?
If the mom had an abortion or the
No,
mom went...
no. If she gave birth.
Oh, of course. I would support her. I'd say what you do is a good thing. And
No. Support her financially for the rest of her life or for the rest of the baby's life.
Are you talking about, like, what do you mean me support her? Like, as a citizen or...
If somebody has a baby...
We do have child support, and it comes from taxpayer money.
There's foster care, there's adoption, there's mothers waiting.
Those systems are very broken and people all the time...
As someone whose family has come and told me stories, and I've even experienced some of the foster care systems, I do tell you that a lot of the children in those systems are neglected. And while I can't tell you for today, like how it is exactly today, the stories I've heard and what I've experienced, I could firsthand tell you that it was not a great experience, you know?
Are trying to stop funding for programs like that.
Now, I want to ask you guys, do you support vaccine mandates?
Yes.
So I mean, you
I
stepped
do.
forward and said the government shouldn't tell you what to do with your body, though. Why would you support?
My issue is that I believe that the government should not be able to tell me what to do with my body, but I have to accept the consequences for the choices that I make with my body. The vaccines, for instance, I absolutely felt that everyone should get vaccinated. Why? Because this was a pandemic. But if you don't want to, I don't think the government should have to tell you that you have to. But you then have to suffer the consequences of your choices, which means you cannot patronize certain places. You can't put other people at risk.
I know you're saying they're doing it to protect us, but the coronavirus has, I think, a survivor rate almost 98%, 99%, and we're mandating these vaccines. Why are we not mandating the flu?
What's frightening to me is that you're equating some minor inconveniences in your privileged life to
Why would you assume my life is privileged?
unsupported.
But why would you assume my life is privileged?
He does not.
I mean, I don't say that about you.
He does not like being called privileged.
Why would you assume my life is
I'm
privileged?
privileged.
Okay, that's fine, but why would you assume my life is privileged?
For one, you're a man.
You know,
Bam.
most people commit suicide are men. Most people who work in dangerous work.
This is what I saw on TikTok.
Fight in war are men.
And who set that system up?
Bam! Dang! Speechless. That dude was like, ooh. You can't see my face, but I'm like nodding. Come on, man.
As far as whether the government should intervene on people's bodies, I think there are a lot of instances where the government should. One, to protect the society in general, especially in cases such as a pandemic where the disease could literally wipe out cities. In other instances as well, such as drug use, I think the government should intervene because when you have a society that's addicted to opioids or crack, it spreads like wildfire, and I've seen it firsthand. It's very difficult to control without the help of government.
Nobody is having abortions with viable fetuses unless it is a medical emergency that will kill the baby and the mother.
Not being an LGBTQ plus ally makes someone a bad person.
It's strong,
It's
isn't it? It's a little
it's a
strong.
general way to put it. I would question someone's empathy.
That's it.
And their
Yeah,
awareness of the other
definitely,
people
me
around
too.
them, because I guarantee you know someone that's
Absolutely,
LGBTQ.
and their environment.
Right. Discussing the validity of the existence of other human beings isn't a political issue. That's like
It's there. whether you
there's
like it
something
or not.
wrong with
Yeah.
you
Yes.
if you like, no, trans people don't exist. Obviously they do. I have
Yikes.
3 kids. I have 3 boys.
Oh.
One of them is trans. I worry that
For their
I mean,
safety.
for however progressive a new generation seems, that you know, I have to think about, will there be violence done? Which I mean, every parent worries about
It's- yeah.
violence. That's part of the gig of being a parent.
Yes.
And I've got an extra. I've got a new layer. My child is in a wonderfully privileged situation where they have a lot of support.
Okay.
But as they get older,
As you
their
get-
circle
as
gets
your
wider.
circle gets wider,
and
you-
my sphere of influence gets
Yep.
less effective as
Yes.
they get older, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh.
I can provide a unique perspective on this because I'm actually bisexual.
Interesting.
So I think not being an ally, as long as you're not harming people, you're not harassing people, you're not posting on social media that these people suck, then I don't think you're a bad person for that.
As a Christian, I don't think that being LGBTQ aligns with God's view of the family. It doesn't mean that I will disrespect them in any way. I just think that it's a sin.
As far as your faith is concerned, what would happen if your child came out to you that they were gay, bisexual, trans?
I think that if the sin is not practiced upon, it's not a problem. It can be dealt with, especially with transitioning. It usually comes from mental problems like depression, anxiety, and all those things.
So you think they can be kind of taught to not be gay?
No, I think
Pray the
it's,
gay away.
You support conversion therapy?
no, I don't think that we can convert anyone into doing anything. I would not ostracize my child, but I would not support it, just like I don't support any sin.
So I think that if you want to be transgender, you could be transgender. We live in again, I said, a free nation. But if you're asking for my opinion, I believe that men and women are completely different. We have different chromosomes, different bone structure. If you are a transgender woman, I still view you as a man. You could express yourself as a woman, that's fine. But I don't believe that society should automatically, say that, okay, you're a woman. Let's say, for instance, there's a 18-year-old biological man, but says that they are a woman now. They still have male genitalia. They could walk into a woman's locker room and show off their male genitalia. I don't agree with that. I don't think that's that's
That's not happening.
It is happening, though.
Is it really happening?
That is literally transphobia.
It's rare, though, but
Oh no.
It could just be a creepy guy, like pretending to be.
Yes, creepy guys are. I'm in much more danger in a women's restroom from a cisgender, straight, creepy guy
I know, but
than I am a
that
trans
gives them
person.
the excuse. That's what I'm trying to say.
So do you support gender-neutral bathrooms, like women and men
Yes.
can go into the same bathroom? Do you think that could increase the chances of rape or assault?
They
Okay, this is where I think it's weird because like, aren't there already like family bathrooms, gender neutral bathrooms where both man and woman could enter? Does that really raise this like what was there a raise in when they implemented those things? Let's see.
They already exist. It's interesting that men are only concerned about this rape in the bathroom when we're having a conversation about trans folk.
Pop off.
But gender-neutral bathrooms just stem from this idea, though.
No, this idea that rape is going to suddenly go on the rise because of gender-neutral bathrooms stems from transphobia.
Owning a gun is a basic human right.
Ooh. I feel like owning a gun is a right, but okay, don't hate me for this, but I feel like it's too easy to attain a gun. Like the right should be, how do I say? You should be able to have this right, but under certain circumstance, like I don't know what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's see what they gotta say.
I absolutely hate hearing about school shootings on the news.
I do too.
Shootings in general.
I do too.
It's horrible. This isn't like, Spider-Man's not going to save people. People
I
have
love
the right
Spider-Man.
to protect themselves.
A lot of mass shooters target gun-free zones because they know there's not going to be a person who's going to fight against them or shoot them back. There's a lot of mass shootings at schools, and that's because schools have gun-free zones. I view owning a gun as a right to defend myself. You look at countries that have banned guns in the past, the USSR, Nazi Germany, you look at China under Mao Zedong, they stripped their citizens of arms so they could oppress them. And I think the reason why our founding fathers enshrined the Second Amendment is because they wanted us to protect ourselves against tyrannical government and to protect ourselves against danger around us too.
The thing is, I feel like when the Second Amendment was written, this is a lot of quoting from my surroundings, like my friends and things like that. It was when it took like 10 minutes to load a gun, and it also had a very high chance of misfiring. I don't think they assumed there would be guns that you could shoot 16 rounds in like less than a minute if you have a fast enough trigger finger, like things like that. Maybe I'm just, I don't know, maybe I'm just being weird, but I feel like they're very outdated. Mental issues have become a bigger issue nowadays than it was back then. And, we shouldn't let these people who are mentally unstable, who decide to shoot children and be able to have easy access to these weapons, you feel me? I don't know, maybe I'm just wrong.
I think that from a woman's perspective, if as a woman you get into a dangerous situation, for example, with a man, having a gun and knowing how to use a gun is the only way that will protect me. Having my tiny little pepper spray won't help me forever. I think definitely if you take away guns, the bad guys will always get their guns one way or another.
That's true.
I live in Los Angeles, and LA has strict gun control laws. This is my perspective of it. I think LA has become a more dangerous city, and I feel very unsafe walking down the street just not armed. Crime is on the rise in America, and I think one of the ways to stop crime is by owning a gun.
I definitely think that there should be this control in place to who buys guns.
Yes, I
just
agree.
Being able to go to a store and buy a gun, there should be regulations into who buys guns. And
Yes, that's exactly what I think.
I actually debated whether or not I was going to sit down because I do believe people have the right to bear arms. I do. My issue is what kind of arms they're bearing. I believe people should get to go hunt, but do you need a semi-automatic rifle to do that? I'll tell you personally, I'm afraid of guns personally myself, but I just think there need to be stricter regulations with it.
But the majority of people who die by gunshot are women in a domestic violence situation. So mass shootings definitely don't want automatic rifles, against that, nobody needs them, but the most dangerous gun is the one in your home.
I do want to ask you a question. Do you think that women should have the right to bear arms to protect themselves against?
Yeah, I'm not against the right to own guns. The prompt was, do you think owning a gun is a human right?
But do you think?
And I don't agree with that.
In my perspective, I grew up in a gun-riddled neighborhood. I myself am a gun owner now because of the fact that I had to create some type of means of self-defense.
So why did you disagree?
I disagree because I would prefer not to be. I think it's not a human right as much as almost a necessity for a lot of people. And not everyone. There's a lot of neighborhoods
This
that are
guy's
very
speaking
safe, but even
facts.
in a safe neighborhood, you can be robbed, you can be killed. I've been stuck up several times with a gun to my face, you know, and all I could think of is, man, if I die, it's gonna be because I didn't have a weapon to help protect me.
Do you think that we should take away all guns from the entire world?
Yes, if there was like a magnet, like Magneto from X-Men, and he just shot all the guns, I think that would be such a better place.
But she ended him with that. And who created those systems? Paused and started laughing. Woo! Me too, man. And who said that? God dang. Everyone's. Whew. With teens/adults that grew up in foster care versus individuals that are pro-life. That would be really awesome. I feel like that would be crazy. I love how one of the parents said vaccines and all the teens. Being a foster myself, I hate when people try to use that excuse. They have no clue whatsoever how that is. It's true. They just throw words like foster care and adoption out there because they have no actual care as to what happens after a baby is born. I agree. A lot of the children in foster cares and orphanages are neglected, not only because of the circumstance and how much money they get from these children, it's also the amount. Like, you can't care equally for a 50 kid orphanage. You know, there's too many kids for every one of them to be properly, you know, unless the government gives that orphanage or foster care home more money. Eden literally said she never disrespect anyone of LGBTQ and turned around and said, if the sin is not acted upon, there's no problem and it could be dealt with. If you remain closeted, then I could fix you. Oh, that's a crazy take. But yeah, that's all for conservative teams versus liberal parents. I did not expect it to be 30 minutes. I should have looked at it, but I'm gonna be trimming this down. Like I said in the beginning, I don't really like talking about politics. I feel like I'm not informed enough. I always only hear from the left side, and there are definitely a lot of things we can learn from each other. I have kind of a unique take on everything. I'm usually for the people, which is why I identify myself as left-sided, but at the same time, I feel like socialism or liberalism, I don't know if that's the actual word, is the solution for everything, you know? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is my second react video for Jubilee, and yeah, don't forget to like, dislike, share, download, thanks, clip, save, report, show transcript, subscribe, especially the first and the last one. And I'll be seeing you guys soon. I want to start making more videos. I'm making this video right after my first one, and it's really cool to just speak my mind. I don't really know who's gonna listen, but hey, who knows? One thing I really want to do is, if I ever blow up on YouTube and I start actually making a living, I want to come back to this video because I feel like a lot of people have liberal views until you have a lot of money. Then you gotta go back and reflect and take a more selfish approach. So I want to see how I do if this ever happens. And I hope you guys stick around for that adventure. Stick around for that future video. This video is actually not quite old. It was made June 5th, which was like, what? That was exactly, oh yeah, that was exactly 2, 3, 4, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17 days ago. 18 days. Oh, I'm stupid. But yeah, I feel like the world is a place to learn, whether it's about liberal, conservative, greenhouse things. Green Party, I think it's called. But sorry guys, I'm kind of stupid. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Like, subscribe, dislike, share, download, yeah, blah blah blah. Okay, see you guys next video. Bye. Mwah.